So welcome to a Games We've Been Playing episode, and we have a few games to talk about. Kim's really been going...
I've been going nuts.
Kim's been going nuts with some games. And before we begin, I'll ask you guys, what are you playing? Let us know down below. And something very exciting to announce as well, this episode is sponsored by Microids. Yes, my second sponsored video in 15 years of doing the show.
Way to go.
1,100 episodes. Do you know what? Yeah, because I'm so picky about who I choose and all that, and I turn down everybody. But the reason why I said yes to this is because I love the game. I first played it, and the game is Front Mission First. I first played it in 1995. I love the game. It takes place in the year 2090, where the world is at war, and you use these giant mechanized robots called Wanzers, and it's a strategy game. And I loved it. I used to play it all the time. And there's an arranged soundtrack in there. I love the soundtrack so much. Back in '95, I bought the original soundtrack. Is
that the original?
That's the original soundtrack and all that. We used to play the Super Famicom game all of the time. We loved it so much. And then they re-released the game on DS, and then they've released the game now. And it's a complete upgrade to the original game. And I gotta say, I played it. I bought it myself. I've already pre-ordered my copy myself. And then these guys came to me. They're like, "Do you want to talk about this game?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk about it.
This is right up your alley of games.
It's right up my alley of games. And you can upgrade your Wanzer and battle through a variety of missions that span like 25 hours for the main story. But if you're a completionist, it's over 50 hours long. So yeah, it's quite a lot to get into with the game. If any of you guys are interested, hit the link down below. And I want to thank again Microids for sponsoring this video. So Miss Kim, what have you been playing? There's been a big build up to this, by the way.
I've been playing Diablo 4, and I've been doing this every night for about, 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, since the game released,
Since the game released, I've been honestly waiting since they've announced it, and I gotta say, it's a really remarkable game.
Yeah.
Like, even just starting it, the cutscenes in this was beautifully done. I love the story so far. I love that the big bad demon is Lilith. And I've been playing with my friends every night as well, and we just meet up. I don't actually do a lot of get-together games. I've always just kind of done my own thing. And this has been a real good, fun experience. The game is very gory.
Yeah, it's
cool. Very graphic.
That's awesome. Yeah.
The dungeons are all been so different and so unique in their own ways.
Very diverse kind of things.
Very diverse. Like, it gets creepy.
Right.
Really creepy, really fast. And it's just a horde game, really. It's just monster after monster.
It's always been that way with Diablo, for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes you would think that's repetitive, but when you're playing with people, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah, you could just sit there and say, yeah, it's the same enemies over and over, and you're fighting the same thing. But yeah, it's that get-together. Kim plays on the big TV, and I just see her screaming as hordes and hordes of enemies are coming at them.
Gosh.
It's so, for me, from my point of view, I just want to say, it's been so much fun to watch, like just to walk into the room, sit down, and see this game. It is a gorgeous looking game.
Isn't it, right?
It really, really is. And me and Kim played Diablo 3, and we had a lot of fun. I mean, I remember I worked a job where I had to get up super early in the morning, and I remember playing Diablo with Kim, and I'd be like, I remember falling asleep at like 8 at night.
Oh my, I remember that.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Come on, we gotta stay awake for this.
Kim was like, just come on. So, I was doing Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16 at the time, and so we were go, and Kim was like really attacking this game and all of that. So, what level are you at right now?
I think I'm about around level 35,
right.
I would think, and it's been a really good experience, especially, again, something I've never really done.
Yeah.
And what's really fun, I remember there was this moment with my friends, and then they could hear chains.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? And this big monster comes out called the Butcher, and we are just freaking out because you cannot kill this thing.
Oh, wow.
It was really hard, but eventually after like the next few sessions we finally were able to do it. But when he first came on, and for me, because I'm petrified because I just don't want to die in front of my friends. I'm trying to kill it, and I'm like running around in circles, like trying to get away. That the experience has been really good.
Wow, it's so interesting because Kim mentioned this game months and months ago. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna play with my friends. I'm thinking we're gonna play Diablo 4. I'm like, that's so cool. And so like for an hour every night, when we put baby down, Kim's like Kim's killing hordes and hordes of monsters. monsters and all of that stuff. And so, kind of a cool experience. Anything else you want to add?
No, I really highly recommend it. Again, play with friends.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's just such an enjoyable game. Bloody, gory, wonderful.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's one of those things that now my time's opened up a little bit more that I'd like to jump in and play it as well.
You had your chance.
I might actually do the game, maybe even when you finish it and all of that kinds of stuff. So yes, I've been playing some gigantic.
I was going to ask him, what have you been playing?
Well, it's funny because Kim doesn't even know because I've been playing in the other room at times and all that. But getting through some of these big games, it's just like, I took about a week to decompress. I was like,
you were gone ho for a while there.
Oh my God, it was crazy. I did an episode on, video game sickness when you get lightheaded from playing so many games.
Yeah.
And I was lightheaded, but I really enjoyed those experiences. So I wanted to play something kind of relaxing, something I could just kind of pick up, play for like an hour, and let it go. And that game is Pikmin on the GameCube.
Talk about relaxing. It's so cute.
It is. So Nintendo just released Pikmin 1 and 2, like high definition kind of remasters of the original. So I picked up those, and I've been playing through the original Pikmin. Do you know anything about these games? Not really.
Cute little characters on the screen.
I know. Even my daughter came in the other day, and she's like, "Oh wow, like what is this?" She thought it was so interesting.
Little elves.
Yeah, and for me, it was a GameCube launch game that I picked up. And I started to play it. I was like, the Miyamoto at the time was talking about how he was in his backyard, and he started imagining all of this stuff, and then he made a game out of it. And so back in the early 2000s, I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I really didn't know what to expect. And it's super charming. And he plays this like little space astronaut, and he crash lands on the planet, but he's really tiny, right? And so he's stuck, and he befriends these Pikmin, these little creatures, and you can get them. It's like a real-time strategy game. You get them to do things for you. So so like there's certain engines and things that you lose on the planet. So you get the Pikmin to go over and pick up the stuff and bring it back to your ship for you. And there's obstacles, and there's different Pikmin and different strategies and monsters.
Strategy game?
Yeah, I know. Kim doesn't personally like strategy games. I loved it, and I love Pikmin. I fell in love with that first game, and I remember it so well. Back then that's that time I lost my job, and I was feeling so lame. I'm like, oh my God, and
Pick up
Pikmin. It kind of was a bit of comfort zone for me back then, and even my mom was watching the game, watching me play it back then. She thought it was really charming because she came to stay with me for a week. She's like, oh, this is really a charming game. So that's what I've been doing. Just a little bit of Pikmin. And
it's like unwinding, really.
It really is, and it's so relaxing. I love the music in the original games, and I just think they're really so fantastic. Anyways, that's me out of the way. We're going back to Kim because you won't believe this. Yeah. Kim is actually playing another game. She's been double fisting it, right? Like this, with two games in each hand.
Yes.
Because you've been playing a game that I have had no interest in playing because I did not grow up with this in any regard, and that is Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I picked it up for Kim on Mother's Day because Kim had been talking about this game, and we were both doing so many things, and I bought it, and I thought, oh, you know what, I'm gonna give this to Kim. I thought this is a nice little present because I knew you wouldn't expect it as well.
I was not expecting this.
Yeah, and Kim grew up with Harry Potter.
I love it. I mean, I grew up with the books. I grew up with the movies. So this was definitely something close to home.
Yeah.
And every time I open this game, I always say how shockingly amazing this is. I'm blown away by the graphics. I'm blown away by the gameplay.
The charm of it all.
And just like the exploration is just amazing. The open world is great.
Yeah.
The character designs is wonderful, and the story has been so much fun. And it's just great to go through the actual school and just be a part of it now. And even just seeing like the winding staircase, the great staircase, and just being like, wow, I'm in this game and I love it.
Let me say, I'm really happy. It's been a really magical experience for Kim because I was a bit older. The Harry Potter novels came out. I didn't read them. I saw the first movie and I thought, well, this is for kids. I did watch all the movies eventually.
I'm gonna make you watch those movies.
Yeah, I have an interest in watching them for sure and seeing what it's all about. But it was never my jam. But I always knew how much Kim appreciated Harry Potter. So to see Kim play it, she's almost returned to her childhood.
This is my childhood childhood game in a way.
I know.
There's me, yeah.
I didn't really know too much about it. This game sold like 12 million copies. It's like I'm surprised there's such a I'm surprised there's such a fan base.
It is, yeah.
It's a huge fan base. It's just something I know nothing about. So it's kind of neat to kind of live it vicariously through you and see your enjoyment of it. And you're like, how far into the game are you now?
I'm about 50%.
50%, yeah.
50%, so.
Man, Diablo and Hogwarts, all of a sudden you're doing the big games.
I've never done this before where I'm playing two at the same time.
Yeah, usually it's like, well, you do Xenoblade and then one after another, which was absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, those are the games we've been playing recently. I bet when we come back to the next one, you'll probably still be playing those games.
Probably.
For sure. And all of that. But I'll ask you guys down below, what are you playing in the way of video games? Are you playing something new, something old, or something retro? Let us know for sure. So anyways, guys, until next time.